In Nigeria, we don't have the 4 seasons of winter, autumn, spring, summer. We don't have that. What we have are 3 major seasons. There's the really hot one that has you crying and begging to God because you're always dehydrated and always looking for something cold to drink, which is the dry season. And then there's the one that's always perpetually raining, aka the raining season. And then there's Harmattan, slightly cold, lots of dust, and cracked skin. Like your skin, your elbows will be cracking, your lips will be cracking. Those are the 3 major seasons here in Nigeria, and I decided to do a book recommendation for when it's raining, because right now we're in rainy season, which is a perfect segue for me to apologize. I'm certain you can hear the rains in the background. It has been raining for almost an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I figured, do you know what, the universe is probably trying to tell me that it's perfectly fitting for me to talk about books for you to read when it rains, when it's actually raining. Starting with something steamy, because you need to read a book that would get you all hot and bothered under the covers while you're staying under the covers trying to stay warm. Because if we look at the statistics of the number of Nigerian children that are conceived during the rainy season,
the volume inside of this bus is astronomical.
And the book I would be recommending for the something steamy pick would be Teach Me by Alexandria House. We have Nadia, a professor straight-laced by the book. Some might even call her boring. She would say that she's trying not to repeat the mistakes of her family. Enter Nathan. Nathan, who is an ex-football player, single father who is coming back to school to finish his degree. He sees his hot as hell professor, sexy times comments, and trust me, there are a lot of sexy, steamy scenes in this book, perfect for the rainy season. And might I say that this is the student-professor relationship, taboo relationship that I can get behind, that I support. Not the absolute garbage that is Ezra that they gave us in the Pretty Little Liars TV show, which... Next, when it rains, you're in the mood for something scary, so that every time the lightning flashes and your wall lights up and then you jump and you're not sure if you're jumping because of the really scary scenes in the book you're reading, or if it's the crack of thunder that has your ears ringing and has you jumping out of your skin. Whatever the case may be, I would recommend picking something scary when it rains. And my recommendation for this would be The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. Now, I would agree, hauntings have been done so many times, like so many times. And to be honest, The Haunting of Hill House, like Hill House itself, is not very scary, at least not to me.
By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
So I'm certain you are wondering, so why did you pick The Haunting of Hill House as your scary recommendation, Noria? Because the scary part of the book is not the house, but rather reading about Eleanor's slow descent into madness, all the while questioning her sanity and eventually yours. Because see, when you're questioning her sanity, you start to doubt. And when that doubt creeps in, you don't know when it bleeds off of the page into your real life as well. And you wonder, that sound, was that the rain? Was it the wind that closed that door? Or was it something else? And every little thing, things that you might have brushed off when it's not raining, just become magnified. Because you ask yourself, if you cannot trust Eleanor's senses in the book, how certain are you that you can trust yours? Next, I would say pick up something creepy. And my recommendation for that would be Saw Kill Girls by Claire Legrand. Because see, there's something wrong with Saw Kill. Something that is dark and twisted and evil and hungry. Something that hums with maniacal glee. Something that has been collecting girls for over a century. But there's also something more in Saw Kill. Something that is not just inhuman, but actually very human, with its greed and its need to control. The avarice that drives it to use young girls to satisfy its own purpose. And then you get 3 queer girls, one of whom is as unexpected as the twists and turns of this book, that find the power within themselves to fight back. Next, I would recommend you pick up something funny because it's hilarious the way in which it seems like the rain can read your thoughts. It's always like it seems to know. It's the days when you're like, oh, it's not going to rain, it's very sunny, and you're minding your business, going about your day, and boom, you're drenched before you can say holy shit. Yes, the rain does that to you. And so I would recommend picking something funny when it rains. My own pick would be The Woman Next Door by Yewande Omotosho. You have two older women in their 80s who have been neighbors for decades, who are recently widowed. Both of them are recently widowed, and who hate each other. Like these two women, Hortensia and Marion, cannot stand each other. They hate each other. And because of circumstances that I will not bother going into because I do not want to spoil this book for you, circumstances has them living with each other. And with that comes the drama, the hilarity, the comedy, and also a conversation about race because, see, Marion is white and Hortensia is black, and these two women are living in South Africa, in post-apartheid South Africa. So you can tell just how this is a book that will have you laughing one moment and thinking the next, and laughing one moment and thinking the next. And I think it's the way in which it plays yo-yo with your emotion is perfectly fitting for the way in which the rain plays yo-yo with all the plans you've made before it suddenly started. So I would highly 100% recommend picking this up if you want something funny to read when it's raining.
Don't say I never gave you nothing.
Next, I would recommend picking something cheery when it rains, and I would pick, for me anyway, To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. What can I say? How can I talk about feel-good cheeriness and make a recommendation and not pick To All the Boys I've Loved Before for this? I mean, Lara Jean will have you smiling from cheek to cheek. Peter would have you melting. Their fake dating turned real story would have you swooning. And all the goodness and deliciousness that Lara Jean bakes in this book would have you either running to the kitchen to go bake something from scratch or heating something up in the oven because you're going to get the munchies. You're going to want comfort food to go with this comfort book because I repeat, it's just so happy. This book is so happy. And we deserve happiness when it rains. Like, all your plans might be ruined, but it should not take away the joy. And this is what you're going to get with To All the Boys I've Loved Before. So much joy. Now, I've talked about picking up something scary and I've given a recommendation for that. I've talked about picking up something creepy and I've given a recommendation for that. So now I'm talking about picking up something eerie. You need something eerie to go with the rain, especially if it's raining late at night. You know those kind of rains that you're minding your business and then you wake up at midnight and boom, it is stormy and rainy and the doors are closing and shutting and you can hear the wind howling like it's calling your name. Those type of nights, yes, I would recommend picking up Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia because it just fits those nights to a T. Because you're trapped indoors in your house and it's raining and it's howling and things are closing and shifting and opening, and it's perfect. I think it's a perfect time to pick up a book that centers a girl with a house that is waiting and hiding and also biding its time and trapping and also sending visions of blood and doom and destruction and death that would have you wondering at 12 midnight, when I repeat, the wind is howling your name and the rain is hitting and everything and lightning is casting shadows on your walls. What if my house is sentient? What if I'm also trapped like Noemi? See? Those are the type of questions you need to be asking yourself at midnight when it's raining.
Who am I to disagree?
Next, I would say pick up something cheesy. Like, yes, you've picked something funny, right? You've picked something that is very happy, very cheery, but you need something very cheesy because cheesiness also brings its own form of comfort. And when it's raining, you need all the comfort you can get. So tell me, what is more cheesy than I've Got Your Number by Sophie Kinsella. I mean, you have a missing engagement ring, a stolen phone, a finders keepers situation. One person goes all, my engagement ring is missing, so see, I'm going to borrow your phone because it's not like you were using it anyway. I'm going to borrow your assistant's phone and you're going to just let me use it because I've given your numbers to the hotel people so that when they find this ring that I need, they can give it back to me. Tell me what is more cheesy than that situation. Poppy, yes, I admit, Poppy, the lead character, can be very annoying, but the story is so cheesy, and sometimes the way in which our annoyingness grows on you is kind of even fitting for the cheesy story that we are getting. It's comforting, it's funny, it's cheesy. I recommend. I've got your number, Sophie Kinsella. Next, I would recommend picking something breezy. You know, something quick and fast-paced that just fits the weather. And for that, I would recommend picking Josephine by Beverly Jenkins. This is a black romance that is set during the American Civil War. And you have Josephine, who is a hairdresser and is concerned about, you know, growing her business. She has no time for marriage or matrimony or love. And then this soldier comes to town and she's like, okay, do you know what? Maybe I might have time for love. Like, he's kind of cute, and she's wondering if maybe love has come calling, and then who shows up but her brother's best friend and childhood nemesis, who decides that, yo, Jojo is all grown up. I mean, it is fun, it is quick, it is sweet, it is breezy, and it's perfectly suited for rainy weather. So like, if there's a rainy day and you have this book on your Kindle, or like you're listening to it on audio, or you have it physically, I would say pick up Josephine by Beverly Jenkins. It's a perfect book to pick on a rainy, breezy day. And next, I think you should pick something tropey when it's raining, and my recommendation for that would be City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. Because see, sometimes you just want the expected, because already you're dealing with rain. It's probably falling at a time you are not expecting it, unless you're one of those people that tends to like look at the weather reports the day before to be like, is it going to rain today? In which case,
a profound silence has entered the chat.
Good for you. Some of us normal people, we don't check until like it's too late, and that's when you're like, fuck, it's going to rain today and I did not bring an umbrella. But anyway, rains unexpected. Sometimes even though the weather is like it's going to be sunny today, and then it shows up raining, unexpected. And to deal with things like that, you need the expected. So pick up a book that is filled with tropes, expected tropes, very tropey, because you know where this story is going, and nothing fits that perfectly than this book that set up this wave of YA in 2006, like City of Bones. I mean, you have the girl who thought she was ordinary but turned out that she was not ordinary, which check. You have the girl who thought she was plain, you know, but finds out later that she's so bleeding attractive. Check. You have love triangles. Check. You have a girl who thinks that she understands a situation and a scenario and a world, even though she's totally and completely new to it. Check. You find out that this girl eventually, even with all her missteps, ends up being right. Check. Yes, it's very tropey, but sometimes when you're stuck indoors and it's very cold, tropey is what you want, and tropey is what you get with City of Bones by Cassandra Clare.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
And finally, I would recommend you pick up something witchy when it rains. And I would be recommending Labyrinth Lost by Zoraida Cordova for this. I mean, what is more witchy than Alex? A bruja with powers that astound the rest of her family. Like, she has unbelievable, incredible powers. But see, Alex does not want to be a bruja, and on her death day, she decides to cast a spell and make a wish to wish her powers away. Unfortunately, it was not her powers that disappeared, but her entire family, both living and dead. All of them sent to Los Lagos, and it's up to her to go after them and bring them back. I repeat, witchiness, love it. There's a journey, love it. The atmosphere, love it. Does it fit for when it's rainy? Exactly. Hell yeah. It's also quite queer, even though I wish that Zoraida had taken more time to flesh out that relationship better. But it's witchy, it makes sense, it's perfect for a rainy season, and Alex would totally 100% approve. But yeah, so those are 10 books I highly recommend for you to pick up when it's rainy. Let me know one book you would recommend when it's rainy. Let me know what is your go-to pick whenever the weather turns cold and the rain starts. Drop it down in the comments down below. I'm always looking for recommendations. Let me know if any of those books I just mentioned are books you might be interested in picking up. If you are, as always, I always leave a link to my Amazon affiliate links for these books in the description bar. If you are interested, you can pick them up using this link. I get a tiny, minuscule, very microscopic commission if you go with that. Let me know if any of these books are ones you might be interested. Just drop it down in the comments as well. But that is this video. If you liked it, as always, please do not forget to give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other videos. Subscribe if you want to, and if you do decide to subscribe, please click on that notification bell so you can know the minute I have a new video go up. I make new videos every Wednesdays and Sundays at 2 p.m. EST. Yes, that is 2 p.m. EST, and I'll see you soon. Until then, stay passionate, love books, love yourself. Bye.